Welcome to this week's edition of Mainly Motorsports. I'm here with Kendra Smith, and everybody must remember when me and Kendra were on last time, other than the short Flintstone tie that I had that nobody let me know that I looked like an idiot. But anyway, I've looked like an idiot before. But I just thought it was fitting with no racing going on in the state. You know, the damn weather is just killing everything.
It is.
But we'd catch up with Kendra, and she could tell us a little bit about what her organization's been up to, because I know after we did that show, the week after Mother's Day, and really talked about the dangers of speed and young drivers and different things. Hearing back from you, you had your benefit right after. It's just, we get a lot of feedback on the show, so I'm sure you got a lot of feedback.
Oh, I absolutely did. The benefit was great. We raised a lot of money to help us, get our word out and help some kids out.
Just, yeah, and it doesn't stop, right? I mean,
No,
it doesn't stop. And now you've got,
crazy.
and the best thing about it is now people are contacting you. You're not having to go look for people,
absolutely.
And you know, this past weekend you were at the Portland Motor Club. They were doing a big show in conjunction with the Portland Police Department, and a lot of the things were geared towards young drivers.
Right.
You know, and so, you know, they contacted me and I contacted you to have you guys go and participate. And you know, what was the feedback there?
It was great. Obviously it was put on by the Portland Police. It was calling all cars, trucks, and motorcycles. And what they did was aimed like a car show that had Project Aware there. We were there, texting obstacle course, a bunch of beautiful cars to look at. And basically it was just to get the youth, to recognize and to discuss safety with youth. And it was amazing. We met a lot of great people there. We also were able to talk with AAA, who is now looking at getting us involved in some of the projects they have going too.
So that's good, and that was the nice thing when we talked before, and we've talked numerous times since, that you weren't going to stop with this. You were going to keep going and going and going, like the little Energizer Bunny, and you are. And I'll call you my little Energizer Bunny.
You can.
But
definitely.
and then obviously the people behind the scenes they just keep.
I don't know what I'd do without them.
They're the strength, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Because you can't do it alone.
No.
And obviously when you have those days where you feel like, I'm sure you feel like having shutdown mode, it's like, I can't do this anymore. And somebody like Crystal will pop up and say, hey, let's go and do this. Or Zoe or Brenda or, Dave and his family. There's just so many of them behind the scenes.
It is. It's been amazing. And I've got to say, the responses I've gotten from the racetrack, I've gotten letters from race car drivers, women that saw your program and sat down with their child and watched it, and then ended up watching the video again and again and again. Basically, I've gotten responses all the way to I-44 Speedway in Missouri. There's a teenage driver that drives from Medlin Family Racing out there named Tyler Scott. Drives a modified and is points leader right now, and he's running the Save Speed for the track logo on his car. That's
awesome. And now, what's I know that the last time we were talking, you had some reception from some of the tracks, and then some of them still, I'm not saying they were reluctant to jump on board yet, but they just hadn't come forward yet. I mean, is that changing? Are you seeing more reception there, or is that still a struggle to get them on board?
It's more. I've gotten reception from drivers from every racetrack in the state of Maine. Every racetrack in the state of Maine. I've gotten Jeff Willett from Spud Speedway, James Johnson from up there, Calvin Rose running Oxford. Oxford actually let us go set up the night that they opened, and we got to set a booth up there, so they involved us. Like I said, George Fernald was great. He's definitely stepped up. Alex is running the logo. Jeff Burgess from Unity is running the logo. I mean, there's people from all the racetracks that have actually stepped up and tried.
Well, the neat thing is some of the names you mentioned are your front runners, your household names. So when those guys jump on board, that even the average fan that doesn't attend racing a lot, but they go to Unity and they know about Jeff Burgess.
Absolutely.
Or they go to Oxford and they know about the bracket. So they, at Beech Ridge, they know about the McKeggs.
Yep.
When you get those guys involved, that really helps spread the word.
It's true. We've been actually following all our drivers, and you're right. Most of them are the top runners. Or the most involved with their fans.
Yep.
Bill Rogers, those kinds of guys, Mike Landry, they're all top runners every week and definitely fan involved, which is what's a big importance for us, is that they keep their fans involved. They don't just put our logo on their car. Kerry Martin gave a speech while we were there that night, just went on and on about Safe Speed for the track, and I think he had finished second that night. He went out and actually paid and had the logo put on his hood on his own. So he's definitely they're taking the bull by the horns, and they're doing it for us. They're doing a great job.
No, that's really good. Now, here we are approaching July. What do you have planned over the next couple months? Any big events for Save Speed for the Track?
Beach Ridge has involved us with their autograph session that was supposed to be this past weekend. We're going this week. They're also involved us with their Thursday Thunder. We're going to be going to that. We are going to Loudon just to get into the pits, not necessarily to set anything up, but maybe just mingle.
Make a contact.
Make a contact. Going to hang out with DJ Shaw, who's one of our drivers, and you know, meet people. We've gotten all the way down, which is another great thing. I don't know if you ever saw the show Madhouse with all the modified drivers. One of their top drivers, who was last year's track champion, is going to run the Save Speed for the Track logo because he met Dave Weir, DJ's spotter, down there. Get all the information. He's
so
going to run it.
So that's one of the Myers, right?
Yes, Burt Myers.
Burt Myers.
Burt Myers is going to run it. Yeah.
Wow, so that's good. When you have, it's like anything. When people come to you, it just makes it more rewarding.
Absolutely.
And you don't feel like you're the burden. You know, they're coming to you. So that's great. And I'm glad we've been able to do our small part in helping out.
You've done a big part, not a small part. You've done a big part. Very big.
Don't say big. You make me feel fat.
Well, you know what I mean. I can't.
No, I know. But no, and I'm sure there's going to be more things down the road that we're going to be able to do together that's going to, help us out, but also bring awareness to the racing community and the motorsports community about the Justice for Jeff and the Save Speed for the Track organization.
I hope so. The past 2 weeks we've had to add 2 more names to the board. It's not something I want to do.
No, and that's, people just don't think it can happen, and it happens, and it happens in the blink of an eye.
It does. It absolutely does. And through organizations like yours and the help that you've given us, we're getting out there. So, maybe if we can save one life.
And that's what it's all about, saving lives. And speaking of saving lives, when we come back in our next segment, something that I participated in this weekend, that's why I look a little ragged, and Kendra actually participated in one recently too, is Relay for Life. So we're going to talk about that and my experience this past weekend. So we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back on Mainly Motorsports.
5 years ago, I went shopping for my family's first camper. I didn't like the prices, and I didn't like the way I was treated. A year later, I opened up Scott's Recreation.
Today, Scott's Recreation is Maine's exclusive multi-line Heartland dealer, along with being Maine's #1 fifth-wheel dealer 2 years in a row. Browse through the new 2012 Heartland models or take advantage of closeout prices on 2011s. Scott's welcomes almost anything in trade, financing available too. Scott's Recreation, Route 202 in Manchester, and their new Turner location on Route 4.
All of us at Moody's Collision Centers would like to thank you for supporting us for over 30 years.
We all own stock in Moody's and have a vested interest in you and your vehicle.
The people at Moody's Collision Centers are part of the community, and our reputation is very important to us.
We take pride in our work and guarantee our repairs for as long as you own your vehicle.
At Moody's Collision Center, we care about our customers.
So when your insurance company asks where you want to go, tell them Moody's Collision Centers. 4 convenient locations: Gorham, Scarborough, Biddeford, and now Portland.
Hey, are you Bob Crowley?
Yeah.
Are you going to Ossipee Trail?
Yes, I am.
Sweet! Get in!
People will do whatever they gotta do to get to Ossipee Trail Motor Sales, Route 25, Gorham.
You're watching Mainly Motorsports, brought to you by Southern Maine Motors, out to be Maine's #1 Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep dealership.
Well, as I sort of teased as we closed out the first segment, talked about Relay for Life. Now, you just participated in one. We're asked to kick off the Survivor Lap, right?
Yes, yep. Sarah Parham, she's part of a race team out of Beach Ridge, and she lost her mother, Betty, in 2005, which is kind of ironic. That's when we lost Jeff. She asked me to do the Survivor Lap for her team last weekend. It was amazing.
Yeah,
amazing.
And I went with my team this weekend, and it's one of the most rewarding things you can ever experience.
Absolutely.
And all the emotion, every form of emotion that's out there, you see at that track, and you don't even have to be involved with the ones that are speaking and stuff, and it was neat. And probably my proudest moment was, we put a team assembled of 9, we raised some money up at the Northeast Motorsports Expo. Lee Mortensen from my team got the award for the highest fundraiser, personal fundraiser. But we as a team got an award at the end of the night when they had closing ceremonies after 12 hours. Every one of my team members was still there, You know, I mean, some of them walked a lot, some of them. This fat guy went 64 laps around the track,
That's
16 miles, and I'm telling you, my feet feel it. But you know what?
It's for a great cause.
You know, cancer doesn't stop. Cancer, you know what I mean? And you know, and meet some great people. So I did a little recap with it, and you know, kind of talked about each couple hours. And it's funny when you watch it, you'll tell as the night goes, the big guy's dragging, because I start looking. I mean, not that I look mint at all ever, but as the end of the night, I really look like I've been rode hard and put away wet, or whatever they say it, or whatever. You know, oh yeah, it was bad. So, but very rewarding, very good time. And next year, I hope we get more people from the racing community to step up and support our efforts, whether it's through donations or anything, you know. And but before I go to the piece, I want to talk about my little buddy Owen. Friend of ours, the Kafel family, come over at 6 o'clock and wanted to just show their support. You know, they weren't a member of the team and stuff, but they just, hey, we'll come over and show you guys some support and cheer you on. Well, little Owen, 2 years old, decides he wants to go walk. So me and him go walking, you know, and 7 laps later, you know, is just a little 2-year-old, and he takes a little break, and then he wants to go again, and we put the Mountain Dew and the cupcakes to him and kept him going. Finally, at 2 o'clock in the morning, his mother told him it was over, so he would leave. He went 9 miles. You didn't know, you know, obviously doesn't know what he's doing it for.
Right.
He thinks he needs to go around again because he wants to get another bead, because each beads, you know, would represent going a lap. But it's just awesome to see all ages, sizes, shapes, you know, and it's just really neat. So I really appreciate my whole team and their efforts, and hope you enjoy this update that we give you from Sebago Lakes Region Relay for Life.
Patman's Redemption and Agency Liquor Store is located at 95 Tanberg Trail in Windham, Maine. With over 400 feet of hard liquor and 15 doors of ice-cold beer and soda, Patman's can handle all of your beverage needs. And if it's wine on your agenda, we have over 300 varieties in stock. Then when the party's over, Patman's can handle all of your main returnables, and we welcome all bottle drives. And if you're late for the race, drop off the bottles and pick up the cash at your convenience.
Hey, this is Pat Man himself, just letting you know that Pat Man's is your one-stop shop for all your thirsty needs.
Clark's Car Crushing has been a family-owned and operated business since 1978. We do everything from crushing cars, handling industrial scraps, to buying the scrap metal right out of the back of your pickup. Copper, brass, stainless steel, aluminum, you name it, we'll buy it. We have roll-off containers of all sizes for industrial accounts. We'll handle the legwork with full drop-off and pickup services. So for a professional job, guaranteed honest weights, and top dollar paid statewide, come see the Clark family in Farmingdale, Maine. Clark's Car Crushing. Don't fix it, scrap it.
All of us at Moody's Collision Centers would like to thank you for supporting us for over 30 years.
We all own stock in Moody's and have a vested interest in you and your vehicle.
The people at Moody's Collision Centers are part of the community, and our reputation is very important to us.
We take pride in our work and guarantee our repairs for as long as you own your vehicle.
At Moody's Collision Center, we care about our customers.
So when your insurance company asks where you want to go, tell them Moody's Collision Centers. 4 convenient locations: Gorham, Scarborough, Biddeford, and now Portland.
You're watching Mainly Motorsports, brought to you by Scott's Recreation, now at 3 convenient locations. Go to scottsrecreation.com to view our inventory. Award Champs, the official award supplier of Mainly Motorsports. We've heard me talk the last few weeks on Mainly Motorsports here about my Relay for Life team that we were getting together, and a bunch of us, my family, and some friends we're going to come and do down to the Sebago Lakes region. It's 8 o'clock. You just saw a few highlights of some of the kickoff ceremonies, the Survivor Lap, what it's all about. You know, the people that have gone through cancer and are still fighting cancer, the caregivers that have been there every step of the way for them, anytime they needed a helping hand or anything, you know, housework, a ride to the hospital, just somebody to talk to, some shoulder to lean on, cry on. This is just the most amazing thing. You know, it's 8 o'clock. We still got 10 hours to go. I've been walking. We're going to keep track, kind of give you some updates throughout the night. Follow along with the Racing for a Cure, the Mainly Motorsports group that's over here at the Sebago Lake region doing the Relay for Life. Appreciate all the support that we had from the people up at the Northeast Motorsports Expo that donated the items for the silent auction, and then the people that bid on those items. So really appreciate it, and you know, I hope you enjoy what we bring you, and I'll show you, like I said, different times of the night, and you'll be able to tell as the big guy starts getting worn out, because you know, carrying 325 pounds on your feet walking around, it's not fun. But I've been at it 2 hours walking. It's probably an hour and a half after they do all the kickoff and the team lap and stuff, and some of the stuff that they've already done. You know, I'm up over 2 miles, so we'll keep track and set my goal at 15 miles. That's 60 laps around the track. Hopefully I can obtain that, and you know, I'm going to get sore and I'm going to get tired, but it's nothing compared to what the people that have cancer or have had cancer have had to go through. So, you know, we're doing it for you guys. So any of you motorsports fans or viewers of Mainly Motorsports, and we've all got family members or people that we know have gone through this, and you know, just now maybe you'll have a better understanding. Okay, here we are with our next update. It's now 11 o'clock and I'm feeling it. One thing this relay has told me is I'm not in shape, but you know what? It's not about that. We just came off the Luminaria ceremony, what is really, other than the Survivor lap, probably the second most emotional time, where each team has sold bags, and they shut all the lights off here, and the only thing that's lighting up the whole track are those bags with candles in them, and they're honoring or in memory of people that have fought the fight and lost, or people that have fought the fight and survived. So it's quite emotional, and we sold some bags, and it really, I tell you, it's just, you have to experience to see it. A lot of fundraisers going on here. We had a bake sale. Maybe that's part of the reason why I'm out of shape and not in the shape I should be. But one of the neat things is there's a group down the end that sells a string of beads, and what it is, you buy the string, and then every lap you go around you get a bead, and every third lap or every fourth lap you get a clear bead, and it tells you you've gone a mile. So I'm up over 6 miles now. I set a goal of 15 miles to do this at, so I don't know if the feet will hold up. I'm already feeling it, but we're going to check back with you in a couple hours and see how much I look worse than I do right now. Here's your 2 o'clock update from the Relay for Life. I'll tell you, probably one of the most amazing things tonight, my little buddy Owen, 2 years old, just left. Mom convinced him it was over. Owen walked 8.5 miles around here. 34 laps he walked around here. When somebody wanted to stop and take a break, he'd grab another hand. So that's pretty amazing for a 2-year-old, and having a good time, and that's what it's all about. Anybody that gets a chance to participate in one of these, I believe there's over 20 Relay for Life throughout the state of Maine. So this is the last one this year. Encourage you all to participate next year, or throw your support behind somebody that does participate. The crowd's thinning out there, that's for sure. I had a big water stain. I'm so tired. But the ones that are walking are still pretty passionate. So we're going to check out, go do some more walking, and we'll check back here in a couple hours. Wow, it's 4 a.m. and we're feeling it. They got so many themes going on. Right now at 4 a.m. they do an 80s lap. Who would have thought? These kids get so much energy. As you can see what they're wearing and stuff, they're right into it. And it's one of the things I noticed about this year's relay. A lot of the younger generation really getting out and supporting and raising money and helping do what they could do for cancer. So that means a lot to me, and I know it means a lot to the organizers here. So I'm gonna go wrap things up. I got 2 more hours left. I have a goal to try to meet, and I'm gonna try to meet it, and I got 2 hours to get it done in. So like I said, I'm off and running. It's 5:30 in the morning, wrapping up my walk. Set a goal when I showed up to walk 60 laps, 15 miles, and I did it. Not bad for a fat guy, I'll tell you, I feel it, but it's nothing like what the people that have fought with cancer have felt. I really got to thank my whole team, each and every one of them, still here at 5:30 in the morning. Some traveled more. I don't think anybody traveled any more laps than I did, but they all did a great job. My daughter's still out there hammering away. She's trying to match me. So if you ever get the chance to participate in one of these Relay for Lives, it's the most amazing thing you'll ever see. We saw cheers, we saw tears, we saw hugs, we saw smiles, we saw laughs, and we saw cries. And it's just the most amazing thing, and I can't thank Becky and Dawn, the organizers of this event, and all their staff. So I hope you enjoyed this. I don't even know what I'd call it. I mean, I've been walking for 12 hours. I'm beat. But thank you to my team. Thank you to the organization that puts this on. And you know, if you ever get a chance next year to participate in one of these or support anybody that does participate, you really should, because it is one of the most rewarding experiences you'll ever have.
Okay, top fundraising individual. raising well over $2,500 on his own, Lee Mortensen. So next year, when you form a team, talk to that guy for some advice.
5 years ago, I went shopping for my family's first camper. I didn't like the prices, and I didn't like the way I was treated. A year later, I opened up Scott's Recreation.
Today, Scott's Recreation is Maine's exclusive multi-line Heartland dealer, along with being Maine's #1 fifth wheel dealer 2 years in a row. Browse through the new 2012 Heartland models or take advantage of closeout prices on 2011s. Scott's welcomes almost anything in trade, financing available too. Scott's Recreation, Route 202 in Manchester, and our sister company, Holton Power Sports, North Street, Holton.
Have a ticket but need a ride? Let VIP take you to the hottest events, including Entertainer of the Year, Taylor Swift at Gillette Stadium, June 25th and 26th. Or country music superstar and Grammy Award winner, Kenny Chesney, August 27th. And September 25th, don't miss the NASCAR Sylvania Sprint Cup at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Leave the driving to VIP and let VIP take you to the hottest events. Call or reserve online at VIPchartercoaches.com.
At Southern Maine Motors, we're celebrating Jeep's 70th anniversary with our spring events. Get the vehicle you want at a price no one else can touch, like a 2011 Jeep Compass, leased for only $239 a month for 39 months, or a 2011 Jeep Grand Cherokee, leased for only $299 a month. Plus, right now, used car values are at an all-time high. Bring in your own vehicle and drive off in a brand new car. With savings this big, it's no wonder Southern Maine Motors is out to be Maine's #1 Chrysler Dodge Jeep dealer. Visit SouthernMaineMotors.com.
You're watching Mainly Motorsports, brought to you this week by LKQ. Any part, any repair, anywhere. Route 202, Gorham.
All right, Kendra, here we are in July, basically. Not quite yet, but
Right.
racing's got to start racing here. The
Absolutely.
weather's got to change, and hopefully this month it will.
Absolutely, yeah. My vacation's coming up, so it's not going to rain anymore.
Vacation. I mean, fireworks, people. That's one of every track. I mean, it's a good moneymaker for all the tracks. You know, fireworks displays, and then obviously passes close to home. They got a couple races in New Hampshire in the month, and I think everybody's really looking forward to that July 23rd, 24th weekend there.
Oh, yeah.
You know, at Oxford.
The 250 and pass.
Pass coming
yeah.
Saturday night, the return, which is fine. Who cares who's top billing Sunday? You're at the event, the
Right.
biggest weekend of the year. You know, Kyle Busch is bringing his own super late model to run, and then, you know, Sunday running the late model. I just think that's going to be a huge event.
Absolutely.
The modifieds are going to be there. You know, there'll probably be some local talent. You know, Jacob Dorr, David Pinkham, maybe. I know they're running down the Star, but maybe they'll run up there that night. And that's just, I mean, it's one of the weekends that I'm really looking forward to.
I'd like to see Jacob run up there too. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it too. I can't wait. It's going to be a full weekend of racing and just a good time. I love the 250.
Yeah, it's just, you know, and I know when we participated as having our own cars, and it's just the whole atmosphere and the whole part of being involved is just huge, you know, and I miss that, but I enjoy it on another side of things to be able to go up there with the TV show and do some stuff, and you know, we started last month. We did our LKQ is sponsoring our Driver of the Month program, so we did it last month. And next week, maybe on next week's show, we'll announce the June winners. Finally, we got all the tracks involved now because they all except Spud raced, you know. And
Right.
so it's pretty neat. And the guys that won last month, we're pretty happy to get the plaque from LKQ as well as the sweatshirt and a hat.
It's
know?
nice to get recognized for doing a great
Exactly.
job.
Anytime
Absolutely.
you get something, and you know, the Driver of the Month thing, you can maybe just put that 1 month together all year. The rest of the year might have sucked. You know what I mean?
Right,
But
it's racing.
yeah, exactly. And speaking of LKQ, over there on Wednesday, July 13th, there's going to be a open house. They're going to have a lot of the vendors that they deal with on display. You know, see their products out, see what LKQ is all about over there on the Narragansett Road, Route 202 in Gorham. They're going to have the fire department displays, you know, as well as some race car displays. We're going to be there. You know, we can go over there and meet Daryl, and you know, that's quite an operation. Junk in business isn't the way junk in business used to be when we were kids, you know. And I mean, I used to think of a junk. I mean, now it's like very organized, you know. You know, they know where all the parts are and all the pieces are. It's all done through computer.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's not junk anymore.
Yeah, no, exactly. They call it recycled.
Absolutely.
And my biggest deal is, and I am so excited about, we touched a little bit last week with Chuck Hall, the Mainely Motorsports TV 400 coming up at Richmond Karting Speedway on September 10th and 11th. September 11th will actually be the 10th year anniversary of 9/11.
Right.
So we're expecting to do some great things with that. You guys are going to participate.
Yep.
The Maine State Police is going to be up there with their program, participating, and with the kids and about buckling up and stuff. So I'm so excited about that. And if you get the chance, and you always you hear about these kids that are racing now, the next generation, the Rose next generation, the next
Right.
generation of Clarks, the next generation of Cushman. You just can't imagine how these kids wheel these go-karts, and then when they're up there that day and they're racing for 6-foot-tall trophies. I remember last year Braxton Rowe finished second, got a 4.5-foot-tall trophy, and would not let anybody help him carry it down. He dragged it a ways, and he'd stop, take a break, he'd lift it a little bit, and it's just. But it's neat because they're still so innocent there, and they don't really understand what racing's all about yet. They don't realize you're supposed to dislike the guy you're racing
Right.
and all that, And I remember talking with Dave Dion once, and it's funny because we see them all hanging out in the pits, and the racers, and they all talk and this, that, and the other, and they're friends, and then they go race. And Dave Dion said, "How can you be friends with a guy that's trying to take money away from you?" Which is true. I mean, I guess
Look at it that way.
I guess it's awful to think that way, but that was his theory. It's like, this guy is taking money away from me, so how can I be his friend?
I think the thing we talked about too when we talked to Ben Rowe up to the Auburn show is he's actually enjoying Braxton racing more than racing himself. Watching the innocence of it, and there is no competition. I mean, even talking with you, watching your daughter.
Yeah,
it's just like it's a fun time.
At the end of the day, it's a trophy. Now there are some parents out there that think that if their kid has the ultimate day, that they're going to go home and stare at the phone, and eventually Rick Hendrick or Joe Gibbs is going to call.
Right.
But that's it's not going to happen.
happening.
It's
No.
unless you get called and they want to take millions of dollars from you. So it is pretty neat to see the innocence of these kids, and they get so excited about that trophy or that feature winner sticker. And then, like I said, my weekend was working with John Holland from New England Racing Fuels, and every kid's going to get, the winner is going to get the same Sunoco checkered flag that Jimmy Johnson or Kyle Busch or Dale Earnhardt, if he ever wins again, will get when they cross the finish line. So that's a big deal because I don't think there's a racetrack out there than Beechridge that gives away the checkered flag.
No, there isn't. And we talked about that too, is these kids, to get to know that they're getting the same kind of checkered flag that Jimmy Johnson gets. I mean, they'd be thrilled to get the same checkered flag that anybody gets.
Yeah, it's down to Beechridge. If they won the same checkered flag that David Oliver won 2 weeks ago in the Pro Series race, they'd have been all tickled pink. But
maybe they could just be giving it. You could just give one away like they did 2 weeks ago.
Oh, here we go. Slow down. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed this week's edition of Mainly Motorsports. We're going to be back next week, and we're going to amp back up to our 1-hour episode. So we'll get Kendra again down the road and, have her on for an hour, see if we can deal with her for an hour. But
probably
no,
not.
It's good. And thank you for everything you do, and, keep you and your organization and Save Speed for the Track and that whole gang pumped up, and keep them, because they're doing a great thing.
Thank you for having us on and helping us and supporting us.
All right, we'll see you next time on Mainly Motorsports.
You're watching TWC TV, only on Time Warner Cable.